Your new attending state attorneys for the Wisconsin Elections Commission today asked a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit that sought to block the use of Wisconsin's MyVote online voter portal just days before the November election. Dawn McCole, a voter in Brown County, and Jeanette Merton, an election clerk for the town of Oshkosh, filed the lawsuit in U.S. District Court's Eastern District of Wisconsin on October 24th. They cited cybersecurity concerns with the MyVote website, saying that anyone can request a ballot to be mailed anywhere by simply putting in someone's name and a date of birth. McCole and Mertens won an injunction barring the use of the portal until cybersecurity measures are added. State, in its response, filed today, asked the lawsuit to be thrown out on procedural issues, noting that the WEC cannot be sued as a state agency. It also notes the state has criminal laws to protect against election fraud and has prosecuted people for it. There's no timeline for a decision. We'll bring you the first alert update in the case as we learn them.